The topic of this webinar is don't lose track of your bottles and products. And in detail, we will discuss the topic supply chain transparency, gray market detection, and customer loyalty. What is our mission? So the mission of Securikett is to enable brand owners as well as consumers to identify original products. And we want to make distribution channels transparent. And we want to help brands to engage directly with their customers. Securikett provides both, so to say, the customized labels, so to say, security labels, and seals with physical and digital tamper evidence. Here are some examples how it could look like. On the left-hand side, we have a security label containing a NFC chip on the top of the cork. We have a QR code for those people who are not able to read NFC. And we have a tamper loop. So this tamper loop indicates the opening of the cork when somebody opens the cork and scan again the NFC. So what are the challenges when we want to manage our tracking platform for your products and for the bottles? It is about the control and the management of the distributors. We have those issues with untransparent supply chains in terms of infringed supply chains by counterfeited products or stolen products. Sometimes we are facing the problem of inefficient management of stock. We have maybe the risk of fake products in the markets. And the next point is insufficient consumer information. And this goes in both directions. So not only from the brand to the consumer, it could also be the way back from the consumer to the brand. So the benefits of tracking the products are that we are able to manage and control distributors. We will gain the transparency of the supply chain, and we will have extensive data analytics. Since we are able to manage the packaging hierarchy, so by knowing exactly which bottle is in which case is on which pallet or case is shipped to which distributor, we are able to manage a more efficient stock. We have a geo-tracking. For the consumers, you can offer a proof of authenticity. It is also important to stay in touch with the customers or consumers, depending on how your business model is driven. But to improve customer loyalty is key. How this is done? So the main part or the most important thing is, first of all, we have to identify, or we have to be able to identify each single bottle with a secure UID. We create a so-called digital twin of your product. Also, the cases and pallets are identified with UIDs. When cases and pallets are shipped to the first distributor, the recipient is tracked. We know to whom a case or a pallet is shipped to. When we are talking about tracing, that means we want to know how the product gets there where it is, so to know the origin. The distributors or the recipient, they can scan the received goods. The most interesting part is the product by consumers. So we are offering with the QR code and the NFC that consumers do scan the product. And all this data which is collected is available and has to be available to you. So in the past, we worked with a 1D code. This is the first column. The second column, we have the 2D codes, mostly known as QR codes, more or less perceived by consumers to be scanned by them, or data matrix code. Both are so-called 2D codes, and both can be read with any kind of QR code reader. Then we have some newer technologies like the near-field communication. The near-field communication is something what you have in your credit card already. So if you have contactless payment, you are using NFC day by day. And this same technology is a built-in feature in our security labels. And the content of the chip is so more or less the same, which is coded in a unique QR code or data matrix code. The next column is the RFID, or to be more precise, it's the UHF technology. And UHF allows you to have so-called bulk scanning to be able to read the content of a pallet. So how CODIKETT connects now the products with the final customers. So as we have seen at the beginning, we have those security labels on the bottles, and these labels are made for the consumer. So they should scan the code to verify. When they scan a code independent of the technology, the content of the code is transferred to the CODIKETT cloud platform. So the standard case is that the proof of authenticity and the product information is displayed to the consumer. This is what happened in the foreground, more or less. In the background, we have a real-time monitoring engine running, monitoring everything what's going on, evaluating the situation, and depending on the rules you have set up in the system will react and inform you about current situations. So in summary, the Securikett and CODIKETT solution serve three pillars. The first is end user experience in terms of the communication with your consumer. You can offer entertainment features, and you even have the possibility to offer them a label personalization. The second pillar is the product integrity for the verification. So it is part of the proof of authenticity process and also about more information about your product. The third pillar is to optimize the distribution management, to be able to detect illicit trade, to share protected information to specific stakeholders, and to manage an optimized inventory into the system in terms of how does it work. Just imagine this is the value chain of an implemented system of Securikett. In the middle, we have the brand owner, and the brand owner has the benefits of when using the bottles or when tracking the bottles. They can have the transparency of the supply chain, the proof of authenticity, everything we have discussed. So how would it look like? You have to select the security label or the product label. We do offer a lot of individual labels, so all of our security labels are customized and built up with the security features which are required to solve your problems. And you can select out of them and just to find out what is the best solution. And now just let's have a look into some details. We have the Traceability Platform, which allows you to track every single scan in the world from each bottle or case or pallet. You have some dashboards help you to understand where the scans are, which product was scanned, how do we have some alerts, which product was scanned the most. So there are a lot of indicators. You can set up your own dashboard here. And for the gray market activity, we have the monitoring to understand scans within a given sales region and scans without or outside of the given sales region to identify distributors who are following the rules and who are not. If you are interested in, we can share this link for this application here. You also have the ability to have an audio guide. So you just scan the code here and you point on the icon here, and then you will have some more explanation. I will just go through the value chain to help you to understand how it looks like. So at the manufacturing side, what are the activities? we have the activity to label, to pack, and to link the code to the products. We have how the integration methodology, how it is integrated by the CODIKETT system. And we do provide some videos. We can just have a look for one of them, how it looks like when you make a labeling and the packaging in the filling line. And there are some other videos just to help you to understand how it is done. So we have the labeling here, and this is a manual process, packing the bottles into the cases. So there are some options here. This is an example from fully automated packaging line, scanning the labels when they're packing the SKUs in the cases and onto the pallets. So there are a lot of features how a solution could work. So I have to look for the time because we only have 5 more minutes, but therefore we can jump to the consumer. Maybe we can take a look at the distribution. For the distribution, we have the activities to register incoming goods and dispatch and assign outgoing goods. And again, here we have some videos showing some kind of possibilities how we can integrate it. For the consumer, let's just take a look for this video here. And this video shows you how a verification could be done with an NFC. So we tap on the NFC. The bottle is still closed. We see on the green text indicates that the bottle wasn't opened before. You can place your individual content here. Now comes the best part. We open the bottle. The seal is broken. We scan the same cork again. And then it tells me in red that the bottle was opened already. And then we also can do the same by scanning the QR code. Also here, we get the indication that the bottle was already opened. So this is just to show you how it could work for this stage. And in the end, we have this kind of inspector information when you want to have some field inspectors checking the labels to identify if everything is going right. We have this option here. So you first make your authentication with your ID card. You have to enter a PIN. And now we get access to specific data which is not visible to the end consumer. So now scanning the same code again, we get the more information about the product. So now we are a supply chain inspector, getting information about the production and also about the distribution. And these information are not visible for end consumers. These are only visible for specific users. Okay, so now let me come to the end. This is what Securikett offers. So we provide the security labels. We do provide different kind of technologies and security levels. We provide the IoT solution, and the benefit of a one-stop shop solution is that you have everything under control. You have a single point of control and everything out of one hand.